This is the Zach Ansbury Show.
Welcome. Today's podcast clip comes from an interview with Simona Bronzi from RAA.
Ever did was just take every opportunity that I could get, and I didn't really think about whether it was going to be a long-term opportunity and there were things that I did for free, which was still really valuable. I think volunteering is a really good way to get experience, and it's hard. Like I think at one point I had 5 jobs, maybe 4 or 5 jobs, and I think 3 of them were voluntary and 2 of them were paid jobs. So I had 2 coffee shop jobs, and I was on the student association, which was effectively a job. I spent a lot of time on that, but because I loved it. I was working on a uni campaign as well, and also doing some extra volunteering, trying to build my portfolio. So it is crazy. I don't suggest that anyone sort of fills their time up as much as I did, because it was very hard. But I think it was really good to take every opportunity that I could.
Yeah, but I think that, it is very hard, and there's that work-life balance thing, but that is that little extra mile that separates good from great. Putting in that extra hours, willing to work for free, especially being younger. Like I'm 32 and I know I look like I'm only 22, it's fine. I'm starting to get a few grey hairs. Very distinguished. But, I still find myself doing things like, this is free. No one's paying me to do this. But even, at UniSA or within the Aerobic Bass Institute, like I'm constantly looking to put myself out there and to upskill myself and to work a extra hour a day or something, trying to learn a new skill so I'm more valuable to this place. Or, if there's a certain tool that needs to be upgraded, it might not be my role, but I'll spend a bit of time learning to do it. And it's those, I hope it's recognized here as well, it's those small things that, will not only allow you to get that job, but hopefully progress through it. And I think are you taking a similar mentality during your role now that you've landed it as well?
Yeah, definitely. I have been told that I'm sometimes too ambitious though. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's great, but I am mindful of burnout, and it's happened to me before.
Yeah.
I think, my first semester of working basically full-time and doing full-time uni, I got the best grades that I've ever gotten, but I did not sleep. Like I was not really coping outside of working uni. I was just kind of giving everything that I could to both. And then I think at the end of that, I got really sick, and that was a big wake-up call to me to, yes, it's really good to focus on all of these things and self-improvement, but at the same time, I've got to look after myself. So I think it's a very fine balancing act for me, and I'm sure many other people as well. But yeah, it's been tough.
I think you do mention, and we should probably talk about that, because we may inadvertently influence people, and they might think, Zach told me I needed to work an extra 2 hours a day, and this is totally backed up by everyone. But it is that work-life balance, and like you just spoke to us about, you've had burnouts and stuff like that, and we've all had those real flat periods. And because that you're prone to it, what is your strategy for recognizing if you're about to hit that point, or do you have any preemptive strategies to make sure you don't burn out?
I think, honestly, I have such a supportive team, and we're also open with each other, especially through COVID. RA has been fantastic in really pushing work-life balance and making sure, there were 4 months last year that we were at home full time because of the scale of the organisation. Non-essential roles just couldn't be in the building with the capacity restrictions. So they were very mindful of, people like not having breaks and overworking. So I think that if anything, it's more like just having that open communication with my team and having an employer that supports work-life balance. And, they offer so much flexibility. I can work from home still. I'm doing half and half in the office and at home, and I really enjoy that. And most people have adopted that method. They've invested a lot of resources into training and stuff. Like we've got a wellbeing and resilience program and we've got like a full working flex program as well. So I think that is just a really good tool for me to tap into, as well as being self-aware of my own stress levels.
Yeah. So you kind of pick up, hey, I'm not coping as well at the moment, or maybe putting a bit too much pressure on yourself, and then I don't know, do you think like, I'm going to go for a walk on the beach, or is there something that you do to unwind?
Yeah, exercise is one thing. I've been a bit slack on that lately. I used to hit F45 every morning at 6 a.m. But then I needed to save some money for a house, and I cancelled my membership, and now I've been a bit slack, admittedly. But yeah, just doing a workout, or I'm trying to focus on a bit of meditation at the moment as well. I think just those little things that give you a bit of breathing space from the hectic day to day.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Those two things are very prevalent in my life. And actually, it's funny, the last 2 weeks I've been working too much because we have sponsors in like America or Europe or whatever, and the time zones don't work out nicely. And I haven't been able to exercise as much as I can, as I'd like to. And I haven't felt as good. And I think it's not even a physical feeling good. It then affects my mental ability to work and think properly. And similar to you, like a lot of our job is thinking. And I once told someone I need to exercise, otherwise I'm like a bit crazy or something. I'm just not like a sane human. Like it kind of levels me out a bit. And I find meditation quite useful as well. Like, do you use any apps or anything like that?
I've used Headspace before, and I found that good. But honestly, sometimes I just type in like guided meditation on YouTube. Yeah. And also my watch has like a little breathing reminder. So sometimes, even if it's just 1 minute, sometimes I do that.
Like, leave me alone, Apple. I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah, I think it prompts me when my heart rate's a bit raised, like when I've been doing nothing, and then maybe I like stress out about something that I've read in an email, and then it's like reminder to breathe. And I'm like, leave me alone.
Oh, it's so true. It's like it definitely knows when it's a stressful time. But like, but you can tell, right? And your heart rate is a big predictor of it. Like you can, if you do guided meditation and you're wearing like your Apple Watch or maybe your Samsung Galaxy or whatever, I'm agnostic to this stuff. I use mostly Apple products. And you actually track your heart rate, you can see it decrease. And that's incredible. And something as very simple as mindfulness breathing, like those big like breaths from like the pit of your stomach. It's just crazy. It's free. Yeah. It's free. Yeah. Who would have thought? Not much.
Somehow it's so hard to remember to do it.
Yeah. So it's something to keep in mind. I think anyone who's listening and they feel a bit overwhelmed, it's, just take that moment to go breathe. And I actually got caught. This was 3 months ago now. I was on the balcony just over here. It was a beautiful day. It was really sunny, but I had a real pressing deadline and I became a little bit overwhelmed with it. So I went out there and I knew that if I spent a bit of time, 5 minutes out there breathing, that I was going to walk back. I was going to be bulletproof and I was able to smash out stuff. And I was standing there and I had my eyes closed and I was doing these deep breathing exercises. And then I woke up. I opened up my eyes and there was like just people staring at me. Like, what are you doing? I explained to them what I was doing and they just laughed and said that's really cool. And I went and it worked. I went back inside the next 3 hours of my day, which are normally, the afternoon hours. I got so much done and I need to get back into the habit of doing that better. But yeah, it's really interesting that you find something very, very similar. How do you on the flip side, if you're having an off day, how do you get yourself in the zone? Like, because, we talked about getting yourself decompressed. How do you get yourself sort of...
I drink a lot of coffee, to be honest. And even I think sometimes it can be hard to get into the zone working from home. But once I'm in the zone, I can't exit the zone and I probably sit at my desk too much. But I think, caffeine helps. Also just like having a meeting with someone in my team, just talking through stuff with someone. I'm quite an extroverted person, so get all my energy from other people, and found that really challenging working from home 4 months straight with COVID. So I think I just had to be really mindful to keep in touch with people and let them know if I was feeling a bit down. And I think that, we all did a really good job of keeping in touch with each other. But just chatting to someone, and even just setting up a meeting not about work. I think that's a challenge working remotely, is all your meetings seem to be about work rather than the water cooler chat.
Oh, and that's what you get when you're actually at the physical location as someone else. It's like, you might talk about whatever project you're working on or piece of research or campaign or whatever, but then it's like, that water cooler gossip type stuff. And, how was your weekend? As annoying as that question is, like, boy, do you miss it when you're like, shut away from the rest of the world. It's really good that you work with a supportive group of people who are like that. It's nice to know RA has a bit of a culture like.
Hey guys, it's Zach Ainsbury here with just a couple of quick reminders. If you've enjoyed today's podcast, then make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. There are plenty more interviews to come with some of the world's leading marketing academics and practitioners. You do not want to miss these. In the meantime, if you're looking for another way to connect, then follow me on Twitter at Zach Ainsbury. That is ZACANESBURY for my take on the marketing issues of the day.